Hi, my name is Turner Cavender.
I'm Travis Hitt.
Welcome to the show. Today's topic is going to be going over the shift in the real estate industry.
Everybody knows the market shifted, and this is unscripted, so I want to make sure we talk on all points, but as quickly as possible. But it scares a lot of people, right? A lot of people think it's 2008. It's not.
What is that? Like, let's talk about those trigger points. Like, what is making people nervous, or like, should I wait for the crash? Is there going to be a crash?
Yeah.
Like this in this show, I totally believe that he's going to take, full control of it. He's an expert in the real estate industry. I'm not quite there, but I know I'm well educated, but we're going to go back and forth on this. So what is the reason people feel like they're scared of the industry? Is it interest rates? What is it? Is it the
media?
Supply and the media.
It's the dadgum media.
Mm-hmm.
We live in an area to where, yes, the market has shifted and it's completely normal. I'm actually not upset about it. This is a normalized market. I've been doing it 11 years now. So you get a bunch of brand new agents that are worried, they're freaking out, they don't know what to do. But this is it's the norm. It's normal real estate. But obviously interest rates. So we've been a couple years now with 2 to 3% interest rates, which is absolutely phenomenal. Yeah. But it's not the norm. You look back in history, when has interest rates been 2 to 3%? And real estate is one thing that you don't typically see it go down. There's not many areas that you take a home, you buy it, and in 10 years the value's gone down. And don't fact check me on this, but I believe there's really been 6 recessions since the 1940s, and only one of them has affected the real estate market in a negative way, and that was 2008. But that wasn't really even a real estate inventory type deal.
But I'll also stop you there before we continue on and giving you raw, amazing content here today, is that 2008 was a little bit different of a crash because of a lot of different things. But what do you think that today we're going to experience a crash like 2008?
Absolutely not.
Okay. Can you please explain? I know why, but I would love for the agent and the consumer, why are we not going to? Because I have tons of clients and friends and family that think it's going to happen again, and tell why it's going to be different.
Yeah, well, one of my favorite quotes is, you don't know what you don't know. So it's completely natural to think that, because a lot of us lived through the 2008, but that was a financial crisis. It was a bank crisis. It was not a real estate market crisis. Okay. And one reason we're not going to have that, especially for Texas, is because we have so many people moving here.
You nailed it.
I tell people all the time, your value is not going up in homes right now because of the residential market. It's the commercial market. We now have, I believe at this point, we have the most Fortune 500 companies relocating to Texas out of any other state. So as long as the commercial aspect is relocating to Texas, that's going to drive employees, it's going to drive people, and it's going to drive the real estate market. And
which is a supply and demand situation.
It's a supply and demand thing. If you have more people moving here, you got to have homes. But I explain to my clients as well, is anywhere you have a commercial entity and it's driving people here, it's going to continue to thrive in that real estate market. Yeah. Certain states are a little bit different that don't have the commercial aspect that we have, that other major metropolitan areas have, but we do. And so when you listen to the media and interest rates are going up, people get scared, but they're not talking about specific locations.
Yeah, so I'll stop you there real quick, and I'm sorry if you like, Turner,
take over.
Stop stopping me, right? Correct me if I'm wrong, but from what I heard and from the historical data, Texas has always been the least affected in the real estate industry when it comes to a crash. Yeah. There's other states that are greatly affected, like the coastal areas, like New York, East Coast, West Coast, and some around. But Texas has always stayed strong when it comes to the real estate industry, when it comes to a recession or a crash, quote unquote.
Yeah, it's because Texas strong.
Exactly. Don't mess with Texas. But yeah, so what are other reasons people are? I know the biggest thing is the interest rates, right?
Yeah.
But the thing that's going to cost them a lot of money is the waiting factor. And this is where a lot of consumers and agents get confused, is that thinking that we're just trying to sell you a product, when really you're just costing yourself more money when you wait. Can you elaborate on why it costs them more money?
Yeah, one easy way that I explain that to people is you take a house right now that's $600,000. Mm-hmm. Well, a lot of people are waiting right now because interest rates have gone up a point or 2 points, which obviously pushes their mortgage up. And I completely understand it if it takes you out of your affordability to buy that home. But I look at it like we just went through a market to where people were paying $50,000, $100,000, $150,000 over list price just to secure a home. Mm-hmm. Now interest rates go up a point or two and they just shut down.
Yeah.
But if you think about it, when you're in a thriving state like Texas, where we have all this commercial, all this entertainment, and all these employees moving here, you take a $600,000 house, you don't want to buy it right now because interest rates are at 5%. If you wait on that, our prices, the craziness has gone down with $100,000 over list price. Mm-hmm. I think that's gone, and I'm glad. But if you look at what's to come here in development-wise and business-wise, that's going to continue to drive our home values up. So next year, that $600,000 house that's today, that house might be $630,000, $650,000, $660,000. And yes, you may get a lower interest rate potentially in a year. Maybe it goes back down to 4%. But now you're paying 4% on a $650,000 house instead of 5% on a $600,000 house. So you're smart people. I listen to a lot of people that are way smarter than me, so I can learn. They will always tell you when you're buying real estate, you don't wait. Never wait. Yeah. You buy whenever you can buy.
And don't take our word for it. I want you to. That's the whole point of us doing this content. But do your fact checking if you need to. Historical data shows that the market and real estate industry everywhere has most of the time always gone up. It has never really gone down in value. And that's historical data. That's not us trying to tell you a topic or situation. That's just real data out there. And that's history that I took the diligence to do to figure out myself so I could explain to my clientele when I was new into the industry of how to do that.
Yeah, and I'll save you time fact checking. That is 100% a fact. The real estate market just doesn't typically devalue unless there is a very, very specific reason in a very specific general area. But people are waiting right now. They're scared, and I understand that. That's the normal human brain. When things change, we change our mindset. But when it comes to buying, you always want to buy at the time that it's available because, again, it's not going to go down. Our prices aren't going to stop increasing at a normal velocity and a normal rate. And another thing is if you buy now, even at a 5% interest rate, I feel like people forgot about refinancing.
Yeah.
That word refinance is still an option. So
what does it say? It's marry the home, date the interest rate.
Date the interest rate,
right?
Correct.
So keep that in mind. Keep that little quote in your mind. It's just marry the home. Find your dream home or your investment home, whatever I like to call the slice of paradise.
Yeah.
Right? Your slice of paradise, where if it's income producing or if it's your dream home with your family or if it's a commercial real estate that's also income producing, it's your slice of paradise. Go ahead and marry that property and date the interest rate and change that situation once it drops.
Yeah.
Right?
I can think back to 2015, 2016. If you're not from here, you won't understand this, but when Toyota relocated their headquarters here, a lot of people didn't buy because prices started going up in Texas and in our general region. And I had a lot of clients and a lot of people that talked about, well, I'm going to wait until it comes back down. Those people 6 and 7 years now that time has passed, they wish they wouldn't have waited because it didn't. Now you look at it, Toyota was kind of the staple of what moved a lot of corporations to Texas.
Yeah. They had a lot of people follow them, man.
Yeah.
Like Boeing 100%. And all kinds of people.
Well, now we have all sorts of other corporations that are coming here, which has drastically increased our values. And people are oblivious if they think that's going to stop. And I don't want to be rude, but it's true. Multi-million and billion-dollar companies don't move to an area, then all of a sudden it just stops. There's a reason people are moving here. Taxes is a big reason, the tax rates here. And then land value and land mass. Texas still has a lot of land mass that other states don't have that allows them to move out here and have tax benefits as well. So I hate to say it, but until our land mass is gone, we're going to have major corporations come here, which is going to drive the market upwards.
Yeah, and as everyone says, everything's bigger in Texas. So
that's right.
We're going to have lots of land for a lot of time. But what would be some tips you would give the consumer when it comes to the mindset of the market change? Could you elaborate on some, let's say, just a few tips that these people can take right now, take home and apply to their life?
Yeah, absolutely. One thing I'd say, and this isn't a pitch on us, obviously we're licensed and we're in real estate, and we'd love it if you wanted to use us and we could help you, but know your agent. Don't just hire an agent because they're an agent, because when it comes to a market shift, there's a lot of things that you can do to take advantage of it and get contracts, and save money. But if the agent doesn't know how to do that, you're not going to win. So like one thing that I'm preaching to my clients right now is seller concessions are back.
Oh yeah.
And if you don't know what seller concessions are, basically that is asking the seller for cash at closing to cover your closing costs. So one thing you can do right now is you can pay them what they're asking for, but ask for a slight seller concession back, and that'll buy down your interest rate.
Or the situation that I had this past weekend that you helped me with.
Yes.
Or say there's a repair on the house, and you give concession to the buyer to remedy that situation after the closing.
Absolutely. So there's lots of ways to buy that interest rate down, get your closing costs covered. And we're in a market again to where it's not just the seller's market. It's still really good for sellers because our values have increased because all these companies coming here. Yeah. But it's also a semi-buyer's market again. I've been able to get a couple buyers into a contract recently within the past 60 days.
Without battling 20 people?
Without battling, 20, 30, 40 offers. And these clients didn't have a bunch of cash to be able to go way over list. So we're taking advantage of it and getting them into a home now at a much lower cost, but really with less cash down. Okay. Because they can ask the sellers for some of it and help them with.
So that would be one tip is the concessions, right? So
concessions is one.
Okay. Yeah. Could you is there another tip right now? I know I'm putting you on the spot, bro. I know I'm putting you on the spot. If not, we can put it in the description of the videos and the podcast.
So another tip I have right now, I tell people
he's always got ammunition, dude.
No, get out of the mindset of a year and 2 years ago. Take risk and put an offer in. There's a lot of people that see a house come out that's a beautiful house. In a year or 2 years ago, they didn't even want to offer because they knew they couldn't get it. That's not the case now. So take a risk, get out and continue looking at those houses and put an offer in because you don't know the situation the seller's in now. And there's not near as much competition now as there was 6 months and a year ago. So put those offers out there and you could potentially win.
So what would be, so that was for the consumer. I mean, obviously some agents can take some thoughts from that. What would be some tips for the inspiring agent or current real estate agent right now working with their client?
Get out of bed and work.
Yeah.
I mean, this is definitely a market to where it goes back to the hustle and grind. We still have a lack of inventory, but we have so many agents out there that there's still competition when it comes to that. So I tell agents, knowledge is the biggest key factor that you can have to gain clientele and to win right now. Yeah. The more you know about houses, the more you know about the area. It's not easy like it was 6 months,
so
a year ago.
explain like it used to be, like when it was the past 2 years, you could get a listing and list it and you're pretty much done.
Yeah.
Right?
No marketing, just put it on the market.
Yeah.
And you've got multiple offers and it's so easy. Well, it's not like that now. We have to get back to working. So I tell all new agents, get out of that mindset of just putting a house on the market and it's going to sell. You have to get back to grassroots. You have to get back to marketing. You have to get back to understanding that property. A big thing that I do right now, and I always tell people to do, is know what's coming. We're in Texas to where there's a lot of corporations coming here. There's a lot of changes going on with developments, roads, schools, all of that. Know what's going on around the area that you're working in, because the more knowledge that you have, the more of a benefit you're going to be for your clientele.
Okay. One more tip for the agent. What would be, the grassroots, the marketing and stuff? Give them one little nugget for them to take home. One golden nugget for them to apply to their life right now.
Pick up your phone.
Okay.
That's one that I always say.
So simple, but
it's so stupid and so simple, but it blows me away whenever I have another agent or a potential buyer or seller call me, and at the end of the phone call, they always say this one sweet line: "Thank you for answering your phone." And that blows my mind that they have to say that, because as my job, I'm there to talk to people. I'm there to answer my phone. Yep. I'm in sales and I'm in a career to help people. So I tell all new agents, don't be lazy. Pick up your phone. Communicate, stop texting all the time and only doing that. Answer your phone and take every opportunity that you have in front of you and run with it and work with it, because again, it's not like it was 6 months, a year ago, to where it's super easy. We have to get back to working. We have to get back to valuing what an agent really does, and that's working.
All right. Well, I want to know what you guys felt about this episode. We were talking about this before the show, is to ask the audience if you could comment.
Yeah. Please send it in. I'm not good at this technical stuff, but
just drop it in the comments down below, and on YouTube, on iTunes, on social media platforms. Yeah. Drop it in the comments if you'd like to learn something or a topic. Drop it down there. We're going to be doing some challenges and stuff where we answer questions that you would like to know about. And do us a huge,
Favor.
I
got you.
Yeah, that's the word. It's to push that subscribe button if you're on YouTube or on iTunes, and give it a share. Share it with your friends and family, because you never know who could take benefit from this content here. So I really appreciate you coming and lending us your eyes and ears for this show. My name is Turner Cavender.
Travis Hitt, thanks for listening.
And when you are thinking of real estate, think of real estate leadership.